Alright, look at this, guys! Ooh, the EZAs, full power Frieza, Namek, Goku, they're here. They're on both Twitter. Oh shit! Oh wait, it's not here. Hold on, let me reload the tab. Oh, what? Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's messing up, right? For whatever reason, maybe it's just not appearing, even though I just reloaded the fucking tab. Or hypothetically, other thing to suggest here. Maybe Omatsu just fucking sucks ass, right? Maybe that's actually what's going on. Maybe he just sucks. He's just miserable. All right, fuck Omatsu. I am so tired of this shit. Why they did it for? They scheduled it at the same time for Super Vegito and Buhan. They understand that there are two separate communities that they are trying to sync together. That's why they synced both the games, right? So why are they still doing this? Like, they did it one time and it looks like they're gonna be doing good from now on, but nope. Nope, they're not. Nope. We still only have one fucking version. Getting the tweets. So obviously this is the full breakdown for Goku and Frieza here. I was actually really thinking it was going to be the 7th year part 2 LRs first, but I guess to go on this, I guess it makes sense somewhat. Maybe we'll see the Saiyan sagas in EX then, maybe. And they'll do, like, the 7th years in part 3. I'm not really sure. We shall see. But that all being said, I was waiting here for 35 fucking minutes to be able to see what these characters do. Minito just put the translations out. Just did it. He literally just did. I was waiting on Twitter, Lobomatsu, here we go. I'm really hoping these guys are really, really busted. They have some of my favorite animations in the game ever. Some of my favorite, releases ever. Definitely one of my favorite worldwides ever. Namek is so cool to me. Alright, let's just jump right in. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I see anything at all that I think is bullshit, I'm probably gonna be really, really annoyed. Cause I'm just already really annoyed. So, just fair warning there. I am really, really passionate about Dokkan. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, with the channel and stuff. But I've been playing this game for 7 fucking years. Okay, give or take. Months or weeks, days, whatever the fuck. But they can't. This is stupid, right? Before, fair enough. Now that we're synced, can we stop, please? Just put everything out same time, same exact time when it's supposed to. Not that hard. All right, here we go. Namek, Goku, full power Frieza. Please be impressive. Okay, well, there we go. That's off to a good start. Super attack effect, greatly raised defense. Ultra super attack effect, greatly raised attack and defense. And they both do mega colossal, as they did before. Oh my god, this is... Okay, we're off to a really good start. Because I just did a stacking video for him. He got up to 53 mil by the end of that. That's with normal raises. He could get 3 supers a turn before. Well, technically 4 in some scenarios, but not in what we were doing. But this is really, really good to start out with. So basic effects, key 3, 200% attack and defense, reduce damage received by 20%. That's really good. Start at each turn, key 1 up to 3. When attacked, launch an additional super attack for 4 turns. Oh, wait, what? So that used to be an ability that could only really work in slot 1. Or if there was an AoE. Now you can just take advantage of that in slot 2. Every turn except for the first turn, essentially. That's actually fucking busted. What? Oh, okay. With each attack received, key 1 up to 3, attack and defense plus 20% up to 59%. As the first attacker on the turn, attack plus 59%, reduce damage received by 30%. As the second or third attacker on the turn, attack plus 100%, launch an additional super attack. Oh, wait. Okay. For 6 turns from first appearance, guards all attacks. When there are extreme class enemies, attack plus 59%, high chance to perform a critical hit. When there's an enemy whose name includes Frieza, Performance critical hit. Guys. Greatly stacking. Alright. 200%. 59%. Like, and this is a phase 2 sort of multiplicative. Additional super. 50% damage reduction. Guard. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yep. I'm happy. Yep, this is exactly what he fucking needed. Right here. This is perfect. Oh my god, I can't... Oh, wow, okay. Thank you. I would have liked to see this like 35 minutes ago, but... Gee, okay, wow. That's... I genuinely can't, like... This is, like... Literally, like, perfect, I think. Like, I would not have... Like, asked for more. Oh my god. Okay, so... This is just... How much... damage are these is he gonna do? So I mean, this is a phase 2. These are mega colossal, which is a huge deal. Essentially the only difference is going to be like, well, obviously, you know, this is a normal raise attack even though it's for 1 turn. This is a greatly raised, so there's like a 20% difference there. But besides the key sort of multiplier, because each key does, you know, each single key does boost the damage. I mean, these are both you're gonna be hitting roughly around the same amount, and you know you're shooting out 3 a turn, guaranteed 3 a turn in slot 2 or 3. You can shoot out 4 a turn with a hit potential. 4 supers that are all greatly raising defense a turn. He might be a little good, guys. You know, oh no, you know, maybe, just maybe. Holy shit. Okay, this looks really good. All right, yeah, I'm really happy with him. He looks really good. So Frieza. Well, let's see what we got. I'm like, Frieza has got to be God. Like, if they did this for Goku, I expect Frieza's gonna be really good. Frieza was better on release. We'll see how it is here. But I mean, he needs to, because you know they kind of Namek's kind of. I mean, you guys know how they treated that team. All right, let's see what we got here. Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. Because Namek Goku is like exactly what I would have wanted. This is literally perfect. Because this right here, you literally the first turn, you're not gonna get this, but every turn afterwards, you know, because I guess I can't say every turn afterwards. But goddamn, every turn afterwards, nearly, it's going to... Well, I guess, to be fair, it's going to run out every couple of turns, probably. Yeah. So I guess it's not every turn afterwards, but you're going to have this up, like, pretty much nonstop. You know, you have 6 key already. Here's 3 key, here's 3 key, here's 3 key. So, I mean, 15 key, start a turn. I forget how much you can get from links. I think maybe like 2 or something. 4. I mean, he's practically guaranteed ultra supering. Like, this is just perfect. Alright, Frieza. He's gonna need to be really busted because he doesn't have like the best setups, whereas Goku does. By the way, this guy fits on the new VEGETA team. The 220 whatever. Alright, Frieza. What do you got for us? Super attack effect. Greatly raise attack. Raise defense 1 turn. Make colossal damage, ultra super attack effect, greatly raise attack and defense, cause colossal damage. By the way, these are the only characters ever that have had mega colossal on both, which is really busted. Okay, so yep, he's okay. Basic effects: key 3, attack and defense 200%, reduce damage received by 20%. So he has that too. Literally the exact same. Start of each turn, key 1 up at 3. When attacked, attack and defense was 50% for 4 turns. Launch an additional super attack for 4 turns. Okay, so Goku's was the sort of build-up mechanic. That's like permanent. Once he gets his 3, he's permanently done. His is wears off, but you know you get it back on. With each attack received, key 1 up to 3, reduce damage received by 7% to 20%. Oh, okay. So you're gonna permanently have this up because this says when attacked with each attack received. How this works is the second you're attacked, right? So as soon as the attack is aimed at you, like as soon as the key phase starts, like, well, as soon as the turn actually starts playing out, right? As soon as the attack goes to hit you, the buff goes active. So the buff is active before you're actually damaged. If he's like in slot 1, it's never gonna wear off. Essentially, is how it's gonna work. That's really good. With each attack received, key 1 up to 3, reduce damage received by 7% up to 20%. Is that a permanent? Okay. Is the first attacker in a turn, reduce damage received by 30%. Huh? He gets 70% damage reduction. Okay. Yeah. Okay. As a second or third attacker in a turn, attack 50%, great chance to launch an additional super attack. For 1 turn from first appearance, guards all attacks. For 6 turns from first appearance, attack and defense plus 150%. After 7 turns from first appearance, attack plus 100%. So he has 70% damage reduction. So yeah, he's I mean, to be fair, he only stacks a defense on his Ultra Super, but like he also has the additional stats because he is better like at the very start of the fight. But this is true to their initial design. Frieza was meant to be better at the very, very start of a fight, you know, for the first couple turns, and then Goku overtakes him. And that's what I would say it sort of appears like here. It does look to me like Frieza is going to be better at the start, and maybe Goku is going to be better later on, but that doesn't really matter to me. I mean, they're both. I mean, with 70% damage reduction, right? He should, like that first turn with the guard, 70% damage reduction, he's not taking anything. The great chance to launch an additional super is really good for him, but what I'll say on that is like he doesn't like that he's in. So Goku, it's like, well, I don't know where I want to run him. You know, he's really, really good in both slots. He does more damage here. You can see additional super, but he's more defensive here. But he also does gain the defensive stack here, so it's like, ooh. But with Frieza, he doesn't get any sort of defense stack on his 12 keys, so you definitely like him doing a lot of damage is really good. But I would say, and he's probably going to do more damage than Goku overall, consistently, obviously because of this, and it's like links give him more attack, I'm pretty sure. But like he's just, you know, if you need to run him in slot 2 or 3, you can for the extra damage, or if you have like maybe you're not so confident in him for a turn, you put like a different character in slot 1. He is okay. This is awesome. He's busted. All right, they're busted. All right. They did what they needed to. I love these designs. All right, this has made my anger from before dissipate. I mean, I'm still annoyed, but like that they did this shit. But like, this is perfect. This is perfect. All right. This is how I would design these characters. All right. Wow. So they're busted. The only thing with Frieza is we do need to wait for like now that 220 liters are a thing, we need to wait for him to get his own. Hopefully that'll be soon. I guess we'll see. But this is just, you know, he had really good setups, so I'm not too concerned. Oh, he should at least be able to make 2. Like Big Bad Boss is the big one. Obviously, he does need like other Frieza units. I would not be surprised if we saw like Worldwide this year was sort of Namek ROF sort of celebration, but you know we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's wow, I just okay. I better instead of gushing over these guys. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get around to the defense calcs. These guys are both gonna look turbo insane. Something to note here is Frieza in the defensive calcs is only going to be ran on a 400% because he only has 400%. Goku will be 440. Well, I say ran on, but in the sort of calcs, right? It's going to be 440 for Goku, while for Frieza, obviously only has 400% still, so that's what we'll be doing there. But we will be right back, and we'll see just how crazy these guys are, but like they look so turbo busted. I'm happy. This is what they needed. All right, so we are back, everyone. I'm curious here. I haven't actually checked. Let's see. Have they since earlier posted them? I genuinely don't know. Okay, now that they haven't. Nice. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Dokkan. Cool. Whatever. All right. Point being here, obviously, you know these guys are crazy. But here are the calcs. So they're both busted, right? It's just just out the gate, right? I mean, you look at this. I mean, maybe the first turn, like this very first scenario, maybe looks a little unimpressive. But the way I went about this is I figured you're not going to get this the first turn because to me, at least at first, I would want to run Namek Goku in slot 2. So that's sort of what I've, calced here. I mean, you're not as good as he is, right? I mean, he does need to build up. So you're not throwing him in slot 1 immediately. Only 50% damage reduction. I mean, he does have guard. But 227k defense, right? I mean, it's not, you're not doing that. So you're putting him in slot 2, and this is how that would sort of look. I didn't show build up, but I mean, he does build up. It's a 20% per. Wait, wrong one. 20% per, up to 59%. I mean, I figured, it just give a better idea here. I mean, we're starting off the turn at 904,752. So all of the best way I can phrase this is what his defense would be on turn 1. If I were to show the build up, right? So under here, right, would be this is what the actual defense would be if he's fully built up. Because it's 3 build-ups and this is 3 stacks, so I mean makes sense. So that being said, even still, obviously I want to put him in slot 1, so I continued to calc him under the sort of slot 2. I feel like once, ironically, roughly around the time like the guard starts running out, I do think that's like defensively the point where I'd start to be pretty confident putting him in slot 1. Well, I don't actually, because this is a million defense start of turn with guard and 50% damage reduction, right? Like, I mean, you want to get this. I'm someone who would want to maximize getting his defense. Like, you can put him in slot 1 if you need to. But I'd want to maximize him for the later part of the fights. Now, I do think it's really interesting what they've done here, because now we start to go down to full power Frieza. And boy, is like he is correct, right? What I was about to say though is I do think, unironically, that for several reasons, Goku is actually better. Obviously, he doesn't have anything like wear off with Frieza. He does. Frieza does have to keep getting the phase 2 sort of build up, but he wants to be in slot 1. There's always a 99.99999% of the time there is an attack before you attack, so you're always going to have that buff up. So after the first turn, I didn't do the when receiving an attack portion. You're going to have it. At least with the scenario I calculated. I mean, you can throw him in slot 2, I suppose, but to me, it makes more sense for him. I mean, he has 70% damage reduction, right? Slot 1. He's going to be doing insane damage anyway. I don't think you need to get the extra attack buff here. I mean, you can if you want, but once again, as I said earlier, I do think, just taking advantage of his slot 1 capabilities is really good. Now, what I was going to say, though, is... So, when they initially released, they were both really good, but only one of them was a #1 overall conversation, I guess. It was either full power Frieza, or, a lot of people still had UI Goku as one. I don't know. I don't even honestly know where I stand at this point. I don't know. I really liked Frieza. Frieza was just so busted. I mean, his support as well. I mean, it was a really fun time, right? But very interestingly, back then, the thing is, all of the fights were short. All of them. Since like 9th anniversary going to this meta, I mean, before, I mean, it looked like, where you were getting long fights finally. But now it looks like those are like medium length fights. I think by the time we get, part 3 here, we could genuinely see like a, 15 turns or something. And I'm not even kidding, like 15 turns maybe to clear a fight. Maybe 20 turns. I don't know, but like, the thing is, I mean, in all of the fights, it's not like we're struggling to see like VEGETA, right? I mean, we're getting to 5 turns, and we're getting, either finishing on the VEGETA turn or like a turn after or something, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish turns in, 6, 7, 8-ish, I said probably more accurate, is where you're finishing these fights. And this is the countdown fight meta still. Like, well, I guess part 1 sort of, but I mean, we're about to actually get the part 2 content soon, for, Dokkan, obviously. It's not out yet, but I mean, we're about to get those like red zone fights. I haven't looked at the details. I know they were in the data download. I'm going to intentionally avoid this, so I see those for the first time. Experience them when I'm actually clearing them. But I would expect some actual really difficult content there. The new, what is the event called? Battle Hardened Foes or whatever event. As the time I'm recording this, I did clear 1 stage before this happened. The Dragon Ball Saga one. There was actually, I mean, that was pretty tough. It wasn't like tough, like, but I mean, it was tough. Like, it was actually, it was actual content. So, that being said, this is a very long-winded way of saying, in the past, full power Frieza was better because the fights were shorter. Now the fights are longer, and they're looking like they're going to continue to get longer. In which case, obviously, I mean, Goku is going to be better. Now, I didn't calc at, his full, everything, right? But just, like, I mean, you can see here what this guy's like. He doesn't have anything wear off, right? So, I mean, this is a permanent buff. His stacks are permanent, right? So, this, 1.8 mil, this is what your start of turn is. Right? If I calc the next turn, this is what you'd be starting the turn at. So, I mean, just to give a little bit of, an idea of just how crazy he is. And he's just going to constantly get better. Another thing I think is fair to note, for Goku, you'll notice this is Frieza's Calcs. This last one I did. The leader skill is 5. So, that's, because, the ones place, you have to keep it there. Like, for example, if I write a 0 here, right? I can't put 0 because it's multiplication, it just represents that as 0. So everything that's not, like, actually active, has to be 1. So, how this actually works is this is actually the 400% leader skill. For Goku, he does have the sort of 440% leader skill. Frieza doesn't have one yet. So, I mean, this is what Frieza here is looking like without the buff. Now, to be fair, going from 400 to 440 isn't the biggest attack and defense stat-wise. I think the real big thing that people aren't really paying attention to is, I've seen people underrating it a lot, is the HP increase. I mean, 50% on both leader skills, 100% extra HP. That's, like, very massive buff, obviously. So, that being said, like, we are in for some interesting times. I would say. I mean, when this guy, when he gets, this is what he's looking like when his 6-turn buff wears out, right? And this is still very, very impressive. He still has 70% damage reduction here, right? So, he's definitely that guy. And once he gets a new leader, I would not be surprised if said new leader. I mean, we take a look at his categories, right? There's so many. Like, they could honestly. Well, interesting. Huh. Okay, I think this guy could potentially get a leader in part 2. A new leader skill. I would not be surprised, because the thing with the sort of new Vegeto's leader skill is he has every Vegeto on his leader skill and every Goku. The sort of buff leader skill. But, there's only actually, no. There's no Vegetas on it. There's no Gogetas on it. I think what they're going to do is the opposite in part 2. I mean, we'll learn, in the next 5 days, something. Which I do need to be fair. I guess you guys may learn. I'm gonna do my best to stay off Twitter and YouTube and stuff. I guess to be fair, it's not like 100% confirmed, but I do think from like the 14th to the 16th, I'm going to be on a little bit of a trip, so to speak. So, I'm actually gonna miss when the banners go initially live. Although I'll probably need to grind up stones anyway, so it's not the biggest deal. But point being, I would not be surprised. I've been thinking about. I still don't know how they'd fit like every Gogeta, but excluding the Vegetos. But I think there's a pretty real possibility that Voldemort is actually going to be the successor's leader. And one of the categories, it's going to be like Gifted Warriors. And Fusion will be like the 50-20s. Is what or 50. I guess it's just 50s across the board. Never mind. We'll be the 50s. I guess we'll see. But there's actually, I feel like a pretty fair chance that he could get a leader by the time part 2 comes around. But all that to be said, right? I mean, he only has big bad bosses from his playing set. I mean, you could just Janemba, Buhan, like any of these really good characters, you just run him next to, he's gonna be looking pretty crazy. Janemba, I said Janemba, but I was referring to Super EZA. This time I'm referring to the LR EZA one. Like, there is so much you can do to set these guys up. They are really, really good. They're exactly as powerful as I would have wanted. I'm really happy with these two. But that'll do it here. They are crazy. I'm glad they did these guys first. I was kind of thrown off by it. Maybe we see the sort of. I guess maybe they really do want to EZA the main headlining units of, the 2022 anniversary first. So maybe we see those guys in part 3 and the Saiyan Saga units in the sort of EX part. But that's just speculation. Who knows at this point? But that'll do it here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. These guys are like, they're both. This is funny. All I'm saying, 2 EZAs are better than a new headlining 10th anniversary unit. Don't tell Omatsu I said that. Don't tell Omatsu, he'll get me. But it's the truth, right? Take care.